This is my website if you're new, GGN or Global Government News, ggnonline.com. There's a poll up here. Was the production and coverage of the anti-Muslim film a ploy by the Zionists to incite anger towards the U.S. for not supporting an Israeli attack on Iran? So far, 66% of the voters are saying yes, followed by 11% saying maybe and 22% saying not sure. You have a news archive over here. Also, I'd like to thank those who donated to me recently. It's very much appreciated. Everything helps. Okay, so the next article I have up talking about Big Brother is Big Brother Peeping Tom. In the UK, they're installing CCTV cameras in school bathrooms and changing rooms. Over 200 UK state schools have installed cameras in bathrooms and changing rooms to monitor students. A recent surveillance survey reported British parents will likely be shocked by the study's findings. And I can't really get rid of that thing there, but it says surveys based on a Freedom of Information request conducted by Big Brother Watch. The report will come as a shock to many parents, says the director of the Big Brother. Schools need to come clean about why they're using these cameras and what is happening to the footage. There's a total of 825 cameras installed in the bathrooms and changing rooms of 207 different schools across England. And this has to do with the future of generations, right? You got those old people shooting out, old people giving that cop shit. You got, people in my generation, Generation X, whatever, shooting at cameras or stop signs. Well, the younger generation, that's the target, really. So when they go through the TSA at the airports, and now the bus stations, and now train stations, and they're going to get basically violated, their personal space violated by some total stranger, right? Now, this is horrible because now they're in the bathrooms as well. So this is to tell them they have no privacy. This is a psychological, not experiment, this is programming for the future. To tell them that you're going to be living, and you do live in a completely monitored state. And there's nothing you can do about it. So unfortunately, this is going to get your blood boiling, but this is like everything else, right? You got to question the legitimacy of their authority. Well, the principal of this re-education camp says in southern England that the cameras in her school are one per bathroom are located nowhere near the toilet cubicles. Well, I know why they're in there for smoking, whatever, but they don't belong in a bathroom, right? You know? It says here the images are not looked at unless there's been a reported problem, and images are deleted after a maximum of 30 days. So if you believe that, you go ahead and believe that, and you be naive, right? More surveillance cameras to curb high-rise littering. So this is a new thing, a new trend from August 30th, 2012. Residents in 5 estates will have surveillance cameras deployed in their estates to curb high-rise littering. The National Environment Agency said the next 3 months cameras will be mounted on rooftops, 100 locations. The NEA said there are more serious littering cases and regular complaints from residents in some parts of these neighborhoods. Those caught littering on camera will be charged in court and have their cases publicized. They said the surveillance cameras, together with video analytic software, and of course is going into pre-crime, have proven effective in trials conducted in the NAB high-rise litter bugs. So, I don't like cigarette butts being thrown around and stuff like that, but I don't think everybody should be surveilled, especially when you know how ridiculous it's going to get. This is, again, Alaska. That was in Singapore. Now this is Alaska. Trash cams catch litter bugs in the act. So yeah, this sucks when people do that and they dump on the sides of roads and stuff like that. We have EcoSnoop iPhone allows you to report polluters. So this is what it really is getting all about this iPhone app that allows you to report polluters in your neighborhood without being worried about repercussions. So plus you can post them on the web and embarrass your neighbors into stop being such an inconsiderate jerk. So just like the chatting with the police in that last video in the beginning, it's about getting people more used to snitching out on each other. So because we know that the governments don't give a shit about the environment, especially the EPA. The green police are no longer a joke. The UN may create an army of green helmets to fight climate change from July of last year. Just thought I'd throw it in there. Talking about peacekeeping, right? And humanitarian missions. Well, now they're going to be fighting for the planet. Green helmets. Newfoundland trash problem. St. John's hiring security to catch polluters. So moving on here, we have Harper government monitoring online chats about politics, correcting what it calls misinformation. I love how they always say that too. The Harper government has been monitoring political messages online, even correcting what it considers misinformation. So they're the king of misinformation, i.e. the government and the media, most of the mainstream media. So when you try to correct them or try to break through their bullshit lies, they call it misinformation and they need to correct it. So that's when everything's upside down, right? United Russia mulls amendments to track anonymous internet slanderers. Moving up, we have Russia's parliamentary majority party announced it will support amendments to a hotly contested libel law in order to find and punish those who post anonymous insults on the internet. The law already includes the norms providing responsibility for journalists, right? What about the journalists that sit there on CBS and Diane Sawyer and they push all this crap, right? They're not telling the truth most of the time. They're distorting it a lot. I mean, they're twisting it a lot. But then we have, what shall we do if some anonymous user makes insulting statements? Ooh, you don't want to be bullied or harassed, right? And that's why recently I noticed on YouTube they've been trying to coerce me and force me into putting my full real name onto my YouTube account, which is fine. I mean, people that donate, you see my real name, even in certain parts on my profiles, you'll see my full name, you know? But, you know, what's this whole thing of forcing you to put all your personal shit on there if you don't want to? License plate readers, because it's about dissent, and they want to be able to do that. So, license plate readers create massive intelligence database, talking about these little cameras on these cars. So here they go. Do you want to have these cameras all over there? You know, just a video recording everything? Well, you don't have any privacy. There's no expectation of privacy. And they're telling you, they're going to try to sell this to you, right? This is engineered consent. I didn't, you know, did you get anything in the mail about this stuff? Did I get anything? No, we didn't. We didn't get asked. It's not a fucking democracy. We don't all have a say. This isn't some merry, happy Brady Bunch show. This is a fucking dictatorship. This is called engineered consent. So they will tell you why you're going to like it and why you're going to accept it, even though you don't have a choice. Over the past 2 years, roof-mounted license plate readers, a kind of high-tech surveillance camera, have quietly led authorities in the Pikes Peak region to score scores of stolen vehicles. They have also helped capture fugitives and kept tabs on paroled sex offenders, all by automatically scanning roads and parking lots with lightning-fast optics capable of photographing a license plate in the blink of an eye, or hundreds of license plates during a single patrol. So, you know, if you're not for this, then you're all for this, right? But according to documents obtained by the Gazette under the Colorado Open Records Act, the devices are watching more than just lawbreakers. Then the Colorado Springs police report shows that the use of license plate readers has allowed the city's department to construct a searchable databank containing hundreds of thousands of license plates belonging to ordinary drivers, with each entry disclosing when and where police last spied on a certain vehicle, which potentially gives investigators a view into where people travel and how they spend their time. So this is pretty crazy. So we're talking about pre-crime, we're talking about analytics. So here you go, blood boiling again. Right here, Captain Dave Santos of Colorado State Highway Patrol says, I don't see the violation of privacy. I just don't. He added that Colorado driving is a privilege rather than a right, which is just a complete, it's just a flat-out lie. You do have the right to travel freely and unhindered by getting harassed by these douchebags, and he drew a legal distinction between tracking license plates and individuals. See, in the Plato's Republic that we're living in, of engineered consent, like I was talking about, it's all about privileges, right? Everything is a privilege, and all these laws are out there. So basically, everyone could be considered a possible criminal. So you have no expectation of privacy. You have no expectation of not being messed with by authorities, because you could be guilty. Let's just assume that you're guilty until you're proven innocent. Then we have feds say mobile phone location data not constitutionally protected. So they don't need a constitution to spy on you. We all know that. The Obama regime told a federal court Tuesday that the public has no reasonable expectation of privacy in cell phone location data. Well, that's because there's nothing that they can do about it. As long as you voluntarily carry a cell phone, you carry a GPS device that under terrorism laws and that can be accessed by these local police offices, departments. But they're not just local police departments. These are federal agencies right in your local city, because they're all federalized, they're all militarized, and they're all fused. They're called fusion centers or intelligence sharing networks. Every state has them. They say authorities may obtain documents detailing a person's movements from wireless carriers without probable cause warrant. So